Hi and welcome back to another episode of Push to Talk, the series where I, Lewis, talk about particular topics in and around the gaming sphere to help keep you guys in the loop. Today we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy, specifically Final Fantasy XVI, because of course we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy XVI given all the news that has come out as of the 28th of February. But before you do that, you guys know what to do. Make sure to like the video, subscribe if you want to see more content just like this, and obviously ding dong that notification bell to be notified when we upload next, because we upload videos every single week. Now, Final Fantasy. So a huge number of hands-on previews have come out for Final Fantasy XVI courtesy of Square Enix, and hey, it looks really good, at least really good at first impressions. It's clear as day that Square Enix really wants this game to be the best game of the year, so they pulled out all the stops for the preview, showcasing all the best parts. So based on what's out in the public from the 28th of February up until now, let's do a quick checklist on what has been answered and what questions about the game still need to be answered. The major one is about combat. Based on the hands-on preview so far, we got to learn how the combat played out. You play as Clive, he gets a blessing from the game's icons, the summons in the Final Fantasy lore, each of them giving him different attack styles. There's a big Devil May Cry vibe with the combat and all, probably due to Square Enix hiring action game veteran Ryota Suzuki. But the combat is still pseudo-action RPG-like, as you still got menus to switch to, cooldowns to consider, and on-the-fly assists that pop up depending on the difficulty you chose. Not all of us are good at action games, so these assists are necessary for players to feel like they're able to be a high-flying character action badass. You also get icon versus icon kaiju fights. One of the preview videos showcased a battle between Clive's Ifrit form and Garuda, topped with a number of quicktime events, not unlike Final Fantasy XIII Part 2's cinematic action bits. We do have a couple of questions, some with answers and some with speculation. First, will Final Fantasy XVI be delayed? According to producer Naoki Yoshida, the game is slated for PS5 on the 22nd of June. And with Square Enix being a Japanese company, it's very unlikely that the game will be delayed unless a meteor hits Japan. Speaking of platforms though, will FF16 be on PC? Naoki Yoshida has confirmed that the PC version will not release 6 months after the PS5 release. This is due to optimization for the PC version taking a while. If the PC version of the Final Fantasy VII remake is anything to go off of, it will roughly take at least 1 year until we'll see Final Fantasy XVI launch on PC. Realistically speaking, that's the earliest time frame. But will there be a demo? Yes, 2 weeks before Final Fantasy XVI releases on the 22nd of June. As for save transfers, that's still up in the air at the moment, as we still have yet to hear anything from Square Enix. But it would be pretty cool if they could do that, since past Square Enix demos like Octopath Traveler 2 and the Live Alive remake let you do just that. Okay, how does the open world work in Final Fantasy XVI? Well, it doesn't work, because there isn't one. But FF16 will have large maps with big zoned areas, meaning more opportunity for non-linear exploration. All missions and quests you partake in will be initiated via the game's hub area, the Hideaway. So yeah, it's following the structure of FF titles like Crisis Core and Type 0, just on a grander scale. Will this turn off old school Final Fantasy fans? Well, it depends on who you ask. Back then, the games were turn-based dish using active time battle systems. But obviously in more recent Final Fantasy games they've strayed away from that, and Final Fantasy XVI looks to be doing the same. So it really depends on whether or not you're an old school fan who prefers the turn-based kind of action, or if they prefer the new action. How will party management work? Will Torgal be the only AI-controlled party member who you can command? Will there be more characters? Will FF16 have a 4-player party thing going on in real time? I mean, FF15 and the FF7 remake did it, but to varying degrees of success. Will Clive mostly be a one-man army throughout FF16? Will the story feature 2 different eras with a time skip in between, given how the earlier trailers alluded to that? How many Easter eggs and references will there be referring to Naoki Yoshida's past works? So many questions that we probably won't be able to get the answer to until the 22nd of June. So until then, we just gotta sit tight. Speaking of Naoki Yoshida, or as he's simply known as Yoshi P, in an interview with Den of Geek, he really emphasized on his belief that Final Fantasy is what the creators at the time think Final Fantasy should be. In the interview, he states, "Moving forward, we don't want to push the Final Fantasy series in one direction. One thing I remember when I first joined Final Fantasy XIV and took over, the director Kitase-san told me, Final Fantasy is what the creators at the time think Final Fantasy should be. And that is what you should do when creating this game." I really took that to heart, and so I wanted that to be the same thing creators moving forward can do. What they think is the best thing is what they should make, because that is what we're doing. One thing I noticed working on the series for so long and speaking to fans all around the world is that Final Fantasy gets locked into a certain type. That it's become a niche series in a sense that it's only about JRPGs or anime characters or teens saving the world, and that's what all games are going to be like going forward. Fans were getting locked into the image of what they thought Final Fantasy was, and I feel he's completely right. Yes, I believe that game devs should listen to their audience and give them exactly what they want, because at the end of the day, they're the ones buying it. But there needs to be a balance between what the audience wants and what's best for the franchise. And unfortunately, fans don't always know what's best for the franchise. If devs constantly just try to please fans, then the franchise or the series will just go stale. There needs to be room to innovate, and to do that, the team behind the game needs to have a concrete vision. And by the looks of it, Yoshi P's vision for Final Fantasy XVI looks pretty promising. And that's it for Final Fantasy XVI. If you guys are excited, then do let me know down in the comments below. And obviously, before I go, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to like, subscribe if you want to see more content just like this, and obviously ding on the notification bell to be notified when we upload next, because we upload videos every single week. Thank you guys for watching. My name's Lewis from Kakuchopurei, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Ciao for now.